As you can see, the Sunday Roundtable is present and accounted for this morning. We're joined by Democratic political analyst Marianne Marsh, Republican political analyst Rob Gray. Great to have you with us, guys. Aaron Michaelwitz was just here. Is he the next Speaker of the House?
No doubt. He absolutely is. And you talked about the path to get there. Many predecessors, the step you take before you become Speaker, you're Chairman of Ways and Means. Not all of them, but Aaron's done all the right things, all the right ways on his way to become Speaker. If he does ascend to the Speaker's office, he's just 44 now. Mariano was 74 when he went in, so it would be a generational change, too.
Rob?
He was here about a year ago, and you asked the same question, and I said yes, and I still say yes. I mean, that is the path, and he has a real job. I mean, as Ways and Means Chair, you have to prove yourself, and that's why you become Speaker, because you have to prove you can do the job.
All right. Looks like President Joe Biden will officially announce his run for re-election this week. Robert F. Kennedy Jr., he chose Boston as the backdrop for his White House bid. An eclectic group of supporters turning up at the Park Plaza Hotel. What is this run actually about? Marianne, I want to start with you on this.
Well, I was there.
Yeah.
Bobby Kennedy.
You were one of the eclectic. No, you weren't a group of.
On any given day, I could be. Bobby Kennedy Jr. is running for president not to win the White House. He's doing it to stop Joe Biden from becoming president again. And that's pretty clear. Steve Bannon recruited him to run for president. He meets with Roger Stone and Michael Flynn. The people who were there, they're QAnon believers, anti-vaxxers, Republicans. I didn't see one Democrat there that I knew. And I can go to pretty much any event and at least know one person. There were none. And when you look at the media outlets, there was Newsmax, OAN, Epic Times, New Fung Dong Dynasty TV, who's part of Epic Times. Every right-wing blogger was there. So you have to keep that in mind. However, I will say this. What Bobby Kennedy Jr. can do is wreak havoc in the primary. Like Trump did in the Republican primary in 2016. Bobby Kennedy won't be the nominee, but he can make life very difficult for Joe Biden.
What do you think, Rob? What's going on?
I think it may be the first presidential campaign that's being run in an alternate dimension, because or at least that's what the crowd looked like that was there. I think you're right, though. For Joe Biden, Kennedy is a name, right? And so especially if you get in a caucus type of situation, it could be interesting, some speed bumps for Joe Biden, potentially. But Kennedy's off his rocker.
Next item, Kennedy's off his rocker. Next item, Donald Trump returns to New Hampshire this week. Will he go after Chris Sununu, or is he still continue to focus on Ron DeSantis, Rob?
I mean, I think there's a good chance he won't be able to resist taking a shot, or at least coming up with a lame nickname for Chris Sununu. I mean, that seems to be, Trump's weapon of choice right now. Trump's not that popular in New Hampshire, but he'll welcome the fishbowl and the media attention he'll get by going there.
Marianne?
He'll do both of them, right? I mean, he's been going after DeSantis. I have to applaud the Trump campaign. It has been brilliant how they've gone after those Florida endorsements to undermine DeSantis. I think they're going to do the same thing in New Hampshire, and they're going to whack Sununu too, because he's been going after them as well. So Trump has a little New Hampshire has a special place in his heart. It's what launched him to the nomination. He still can't believe he lost it. He's going to take full advantage of it.
All right. Well, Fox News shelling out $787 million. That was a better deal than putting Rupert Murdoch or Tucker Carlson on the stand. That's what it decided. Fox also didn't have to apologize for the lies the network spread about Dominion voting machines and other things. Going forward, will anything be different with Fox? Marianne?
I think we'll know in this 2024 election, right? Because it's how they handle the presidential election that will tell you everything. Their audience wants Trump. Fox wants DeSantis. They haven't been able to give any real bump to DeSantis, help him in his popularity. DeSantis is sort of floundering right now, but they want to keep their audience more. So that means Trump, and that's what got them into trouble with Dominion, and we're going to see how they handle that.
Rob?
They're going to keep doing the same thing. I mean, listen, they are more of a conservative entertainment network than they are a news network. And the reason is because it works. Their ratings are double or triple the other cable news networks. I mean, MSNBC is the same thing, right? They're a liberal entertainment network. But Fox is going to keep it up until the ratings go down.
It was a mistake that they didn't get an apology, that Dominion didn't get an apology. Do you think that was a mistake?
I think Dominion just wanted the money and not have it tied up in court for years. But Fox was smart to settle. They didn't have to go on the stand.
Y'all are brilliant here. What would have happened in a trial? What would have happened in a trial?
I mean, even more dirty laundry would have been revealed. Murdoch, Tucker Carlson, and others would have been on the stand. However, That's what Smartmatic's going to do. They're going to do all that.
There's
They're not
more
going to
coming.
settle.
There's more coming.
Yeah, and they want the apology, and they said they're going to go for it.